take a look. So we are in 6 threes. We have 400,000 saved for retirement. The account earns 5%. How much we'll be able to pull out each month? So if we saw that on an exam as a question, kind of the two hard things on the exam are one, figuring out what section you're in, and then two, getting into the calculator right. And so I every time I make a video on this chapter, I'm like, okay, have this sheet out, get familiar with it as you're doing the homework, because you'll have this during the exam, and figuring out how to pick the right one is pretty critical. So in this case, we're doing the present value of an ordinary annuity. We have $400,000. This would be our payments, and then all these other things are these bits that we've been seeing throughout the chapter. So over here I made the list. So the present value of the annuity is 400,000. Our rate is 5%. It's monthly payments, so that's going to be 12. That might have been a spot that got you. We're looking to make withdrawals for 20 years, and what we're looking for is the how much the payments would be in that situation. So we know the left-hand side, and we're looking for P right here. Again, for me, you can use this formula and just put the numbers in and not do these calculations. It makes it harder to type in a calculator, so anytime I can calculate these, I do. So my N in the formula is M times T, so that's 240. And then my I, when I threw this in a calculator, I get a decimal approximation. So in that case, I have to put it in as fractions so that I keep everything exact, or it'll mess up from the rounding. So then plugging into the 6-3 formula that I have right there, I just put all these pieces in. And then to get this into the calculator, I did 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12, and I hit enter. And I'll just kind of do that verbally as I'm doing this. 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12. And then that's going to give you 1.0041, yada, yada, yada. And then raise that number, and just keep that number on the screen and hit your raise to button, negative 240. And then that should come out to 0.368, blah, blah, blah. And then go 1 minus that answer, and you should have an answer button on your, it might be a second function of your equals, but you should have some button that will copy that answer over, so 1 minus that last answer, and then that gets you 0.631, yada, 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 and then we just have to take that number and go divided by, and I'm going to open a parenthesis, and then 0.05 divided by 12, and then for that I get 151.52, blah, blah, blah. So that 151 number, it's now 400,000 equals with the 151 number times this P, which means we have to divide that number over to this other side. So it'd be 400,000 divided by that number on your screen. So again, I'm going to use my answer key and go 400,000 divided by answer. And then that's how I got this 2639.82, which I did double check, and that is correct. So I'm not sure if it was the 12 or the getting it into the calculator, but those are my two guesses as to where it could have gone wrong. And again, on the test, where people get really mixed up is keeping track of, 6.2 is what's the future value, 6.3 is what's the present value, and being able to sort those things out when you see them on the exam. So I'll say this in all the videos I make. Make sure to go over the review on this one. And you don't have to go through and plug everything. I mean, I guess you do to make sure that you're right. But more the idea of being able to identify the problem style and which one of these formulas that correlates to. I'll finish up with, if you have all of this right on the test, and I'd have to check my key to see exactly how many points I made these. But if this was an 8-point problem and you got it set up to here, I bet I have, because my key's all lined out as to how much everything is worth, but I bet if it was 8 points and you got to here, you would get 6 of the points. I doubt I would have the calculator piece worth more than a point or two, because getting it set up is that's kind of the, you know what you're doing, and the rest of it is just calculation. So hopefully that helps.